Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that one of our admin received, and the translation of that message, it reads like this. Hello, how are you? Can you please post my own story as anonymous? I really do not know how it all spiraled out of control. I used to consider myself as someone who was always making sure that the situation was in control at all the times. My mom used to call me a control freak, but now it is like really spiraling out of control. It feels just like yesterday I was living the life that I had always dreamt of, having a very good man that takes care of me. That was all that I wanted. I would go to a fancy restaurant. I had been given this other credit card, and it was all paid for by my blesser, Omar Cobra Dan, not his real name. So this man is one of the guys from Pretoria, quite a big guy, the kind of a man who loves to spoil you, to keep you on his arm like you are a trophy as a symbol of his success. He made me feel like a queen, like I was on top of the world. But I guess I flew too close to the sun, and this controlling demon of mine, it made me to do things that were not necessary. Like he always told me that I am already a married man. If I divorce my wife, it means that my empire is going to crumble to the ground, and my wife has since refused for me to take a second wife, so you can just become my girlfriend, but I wanted more. It was not always like this. I grew up in Nelspruit, and at the time, like, I did not care about luxury. I had gotten used to our simple way of life. But there was this hunger that started growing inside of me when I dated this man who spoiled me. As you know that mostly your Shona guys from Zim, the first thing that they give you in a relationship is money. So when you have dated a Shona guy, for you to come back again and start date a man who cannot give you money, it becomes really hard. Like, all that they do in relationship, first of all, is to give you money. You get angry, e-wallet. You smile, e-wallet. You cry, e-wallet. And when you make love after that, e-wallet. So I was used to be given money at all the times. By the time that I moved to Pretoria and broke up with a guy, that was when I met Braden. I thought that my dreams had finally come true. He gave me everything that I wanted, no question asked. All that he asked for in return was that I look my best and stay by his side. It felt like it was really good. But after a few months, things started to change. I would call him. He would be mad at me, saying that I told you that I have a wife. He was no longer generous as he used to be. He started taking more business trips, and I knew that this man, he was now slipping away from me. My friends, they told me to relax, to just let it go and enjoy what I had, but I could not. I had that controlling spirit. I had worked too hard, invested too much to lose it all. I was desperate to keep him interested, to keep the lifestyle that he had given me, and that was when one of my friends told me that she had been given this other charm, like she was using that charm to cleanse herself, and after cleansing herself, this would make her a man to love her even more, to be given more money. So she was one of those friends who was always running around, going to different sangomas, and she knew that me and Braden, we had been experiencing a lot of problems in our relationship. The man was just quiet, and she did not hesitate. She said, you need to go for a cleansing. She said, if you go for a cleansing, you come back as powerful. Men will never be able to resist you. He will be the one chasing after you, not you chasing after a man. At first, I laughed it off because it sounded ridiculous. I did not want to end up being at a sangoma's house. So the more that my men texted less and less, and I started to reconsider what harm could it do really. She then took me to a traditional healer in Pretoria as well. I was skeptical, but I trusted my friend. The healer was an old woman, and we spoke, me and that woman. She said that indeed I was feeling insecure. If you want him to stay, she said, I am going to give you some charms. She told me to come back the next day with a few things, a white towel, some coins, and after that I had to travel back home. So I traveled back home. I went to this other river and I collected some water, and when I had gotten the water from my hometown, and then I returned back to Pretoria. And then when I returned back to Pretoria, the healer prepared a bath for me. It was like cold, the water that she mixed with the water that I had taken from Nelspruit, as if it was taken straight from the deep fridge. She mixed with the herbs and powders, and then she mixed with something that looked like dried blood into the water. The smell was really strange, like blood. I tried to hold back my discomfort, telling myself that this was part of the process. She instructed me to take a bath, so I took a bath. After that, she then poured some of the water into a 2-liter bottle, and she told me to return back home, and I had to bath for 3 days, each and every day at sunset. Pour the mixture over myself, not to dry myself, and let the water sink in. On the 3rd day, without communicating with Braden, when I was about to take a bath, that was when the man just walked in, and I had to quickly dry myself. So I dried myself, and then I took some of my bathing soap and I had to wash myself, because the water, it was really smelling of blood, and I did not even know that I had made a mistake. I was not supposed to mix it with soap. So I wanted my man not to smell that there was blood all over me. After that, I then sprayed some perfume and I took some body lotion, in which I had been told that I was not supposed to use any body lotion, no roll-on, nothing, for 3 days. And then me and Braden, we made love. Later on, he told me that he wanted to return back home. But when I was looking at him, indeed the man, he was in love with me again. So what happened after that? I saw that there was some scars on my arm, and then on my leg, on my neck, there were some rashes that could not go away. I then went to the clinic at first, thinking that it was a simple rash. When I went there, I was given some cream that I had to put all over the scars and on the rashes. The moment that I started to use that cream that I got from the clinic, it has now become so worse. As for the man, he looked at me only once when he came to me, and he said, "What is wrong with you?" Because I have rashes all over my chest area, on my back, my buttocks. He's like, "What kind of an STI is this?" Even between my legs, I have the rashes that do not go away. So these rashes, when you try to burst them, there will be water that comes out, and then they get dried, and then they will be crusty, leaving my skin to be itchy. And it is really disgusting when you take a look at me. And now I really do not know what am I supposed to do. I have since returned to that woman, and I told her that when I was bathing, my blesser came and I had to dry myself, and she said, "You made a mistake. I am going to call you again and I will tell you what we are supposed to do, because this is your mistake, not my mistake." So here I am. If it gets really hot, you will feel sorry for me, because it will be so painful. It is not an STI, but my blesser has dumped me, claiming that it is an STI. I need help. I need prayers. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our admin who helped us with this translation. Let us talk about this issue in the comment section.